street vendors, hawkers, peddlers, those who sell commodities around the street but don't have a fixed place or a permanent structure for their enterprise. They are the ones who stand and work tirelessly in rain and sun and struggle to make the ends meet. According to Viego, Women in Informal Employment, Globalizing and Organizing, street sellers provide food to our cities. They provide us with a variety of products at affordable rates. They add to the dynamicity of these urban settlements. They are the ones who sing and make attractive presentations to sell. However, they are the ones who are blamed for encroaching pavements and footpaths, and they are a big population of those who are underserved and vulnerable.
Digital transformation changed the lives of the poor and the underprivileged. So before we answer that question, let's appreciate a basic point, which is that digital transformation is driven by software, and there are some fundamental differences between software and hardware. Software is something we can customize, we can configure, we can use again and again, and it is very inexpensive to run.
Digital Street Project is an initiative by Center of Excellence for Digital Transformation in collaboration with FES, which is a German foundation. Under Digital Street Project, we are talking about digital transformation of street vendors. We are interviewing and talking to street vendors across 4 different cities in India. We are doing this across Bangalore, Jaipur, Kolkata and Dehradun.
At each of these regional consultations, we have a 3-phase program. The first phase is to know about the events and activities around digital transformation. We start off with a program called Fishbowl. A fishbowl is a very interesting technique which lets us generate questions and probable answers as well. Everybody gets a chance to ask a question and get an answer. This also helps us to generate enthusiasm and some openness amongst the stakeholder. The next phase is when we get on to a focus group discussion phase, wherein all the stakeholders are asked to respond to a set of questions. Based on the response that we receive in the FGD and the earlier questions that we have collected through Fishbowl, we engage in a more in-depth interview process with key stakeholders in the third phase, what we call as personal interviews. All this is followed up by a field visit to see the street vendors in action in their respective vending locations. By following this bottom-up approach, we are able to garner and gather insights which otherwise might be missed.
स्मार्टफोन चलाना आता है?
नहीं, बस देसी फ़ोन चलाना आता है, ये चलाते हैं। बगैर पढ़े लिखे आदमी क्या करूँगा?
जी मैडम, हमको भी बहुत आदमी ऐसे मिलके चलेंगे। हमारे उधर भी बहुत आते हैं, आके एक बार देख के जाओ कैसा है हमारा, हम लोग का फैमिली पूरा। आप देखोगे कितना इतना कीचड़ वो क्या इतना है। क्या है ये आम रास्ता है ना, आम रास्ते का मतलब होता अगर हम रोड पे बैठे होते तो वो गलत होते। हम तो ऑलरेडी इधर है।
जब ये बारिश के मौसम में कैसे मैनेज करते हैं? जैसी बारिश में ड्रिंक के कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, ये क्या ना इतना पैसा तो है नहीं तो करना चाहिए।
As far as this whole project is concerned, it is appreciable because this is something which is concerning roughly around 14% of people who are employed in the informal urban sector, these street vendors, and which something which has been neglected for a long time. There are multiple issues, be it from the digital payment, skill empowerment, how do they get microcredit better, again use of food aggregators as far as so that it's just not based on the location where the street vendor is, he is able to extend his services. So we create kind of a standardization of their products, a safety packaging system which can be taught to them as well.
The RISE platform, RISE, risk mitigation, income generation, skill building and empowerment, can help street vendors undergo a digital transformation of their lives and businesses. The biggest fear of street vendors is eviction and loss of livelihood and identity. There are multiple agencies and development sector organizations which are working towards creating processes and platforms to ensure that the street vendors' right to livelihood are protected. We have had examples of using GIS technologies and platforms for effective mapping of vending spots for urban planning, thus creating an inclusive space for all.
तो अब रोड पर जैसे जाते हैं तो पुलिस वाले परेशान करते हैं और किसी दुकान के आगे लगाते हैं तो दुकानदार भाड़ा मांगते हैं खड़ा होने का। तो हमारा आगे समस्या है, तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि हमारा कार्ड बन जाए, तो जिस वजह से हम उसको कार्ड को दिखा के और अपना कारोबार चल देते।
PM सानिधि में आपने LOR दिया, लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन, इक्विवेलेंट टू वेंडिंग सर्टिफिकेट देश में। वो जिसका पास रहेगा उसको वेंडिंग सर्टिफिकेट समझ मानने पड़ेगा, तुम दे दोगे नहीं तो वही हमारा वेंडिंग सर्टिफिकेट।
फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट रहता है। आपको जाना है नगर निगम पे, अपना वो कुछ एरिया आपका देखते हैं, आपको बताना है उनको कि यार हमारा यहाँ पे इस रोड साइड में जो भी आपका एरिया है, लेट्स से ISBT के पास है, तो वहाँ पे आपको अपना एक स्टॉल लगाना है, तो वो आपको प्रॉपर रिटर्न उत्तराखंड के मोहर के साथ वो आपको मिलता है।
Income generation may be the very straightforward outcome of digital transformation of street vendors. Access to better markets, better credit and other financial products and efficiency in scaling business can be facilitated through platforms. For example, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs through the Prime Minister's Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi PM Swanidhi scheme has collaborated with food tech platforms like Swiggy and Zomato for home delivery of street foods in 6 cities. These initiatives can help bring street food vendors on platforms to increase their customer base and lift them out of poverty.
This is a sect of the society that do not even have a QR code so that they can get the digital payments, right? So I guess and in the interviews that we conducted, what I realized was these people didn't trusted this technology. They thought somebody might take the money from them, whatever in the they had in their bank accounts.
Government in PM Swanidhi scheme, based on the number of transactions, 200 transactions अगर एक vendor करे तो he is getting per month 100 rupees as an incentive. So 100 rupees per vendor he is getting as an incentive. In this also, like in all India, some 19.30, because 19 crores is the incentives taken by the street vendors for using digital transactions.
However, we should understand that the entire economy is also founded in terms of what street vendors do, because I'm sure that if we look at the total value of the economic transactions that happen via the street vending system, it will come down to a very, very large proportion of our GDP. So that should tell us a lot about the kind of this whole system of street vending. Not only that, the variety in the business is something that we should appreciate.
Skill building. through platforms can help street vendors to improve their business skills and to help vendors conduct their daily businesses more efficiently. Use of technology in their business process can help reduce the drudgery which is associated with many manual processes. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana has created a skill building program for street vendors on health and safety standards, effective communication techniques, and new age skills like digital literacy, financial literacy, digital payments, and e-selling.
A lot of street vendors face the issues of developing a YouTube channel. They wanted to develop, but they didn't have the skills, they didn't know what to do. So they are the people like us and students who belong to different B schools. They can help them in teaching them a basic workshop on how to create a YouTube channel and how to create a video and post that on the YouTube.
Empowerment through digital transformation can bring profound changes in our society. Street vendors are amongst the most vulnerable sections of the society, and even within them, women, disabled and migrants bear the brunt of oppression and drudgery of being on the street. We could have digital platforms which can help them to connect better with their local patrons in communities and be treated with respect and dignity.
What I asked him about migrants, this is what he had to say. And he says, based on the recent discussions, they're going to organize the data of street vendors into 8 different zones.
Now, as far as digital transformation is concerned, of course, I think everyone mentioned during this event that collecting data of the vendors is important. And I think we have already reached that stage where we are collecting data. But now the next step should be that these vendors who are getting 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, what are they doing right? Because now the time has come when you have to connect the success stories. Understand that why are there only 10 vendors who have got 50,000 rupees so far? Collect their information, collect their business model and try and scale that up. Because I guess why we are all here today is to make sure that we are able to find best practices, we are able to find ideas. And like I said, our aim is not to create more vegetable sellers. Our aim is to have modern tech, is to have modern equipment like the food trucks outside. Maybe the day that in my small town of Ravagad, I have a food truck which has been modeled by Digitalization Business School, I think that our main goal would have been achieved.
The site of business of street vendors is cities, at least for this project. And the frequency of weather extremities is going to increase in the coming years, more so in urban areas. Do street vendors have the means to combat climate change by themselves? No. Do cities plan their land use or prepare climate action plans with respect to the livelihoods of street vendors? No. The policies are siloed and interdependence on issues and comprehensive solutions are not being thought through. The Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, FES, is a non-profit German foundation, a think plus do tank committed to the values of social democracy, that is freedom, justice and solidarity. With offices in 120 countries, FES has been active in India since 1980s. Digital Street Project provided the opportunity to research the intersection of informal work, in particular the street vendors, and the digital economy, which offers opportunities for many, but remains a challenge for majority of its workers. Digital Street Project has been deeply enriching for FES and its associates. We have been able to form deep networks through convergence of knowledge and experiences from various stakeholders, and we hope some big or small outcomes will materialize from these engagements.